I am really bad at making decisions. It's something that's plagued me all my life. It's not that I make bad decisions per se, it's just that I don't make any at all. This doesn't mean I have a mental breakdown when it comes to my Nando's order. It's more to do with abstract things like, what content should I make on YouTube? My normal strategy to deal with this question is to create a fantasy land where I love out all the different scenarios I could pick from. And after hours and hours of deliberation, I've come to this conclusion. I don't know. So, my new strategy is to jump straight into the deep end. I will just experience the right answer instead of coming up with the right answer. Now, I know that sounds terribly cliche, and if you heard that in real life, you'd probably look for the nearest building to jump from. But before you do that, this strategy has allowed me to start this YouTube channel instead of doing nothing at all. I still need to figure out what I want to make though. So, in this video, I'm going to explain the types of videos I will be experimenting with on this channel, as I hope to discover the answer to the question, what content should I make on YouTube? The identity of this channel should be a reflection of myself. And when I look in the mirror, much to my disappointment, I don't see sexiest man alive, I see a gamer. In fact, if you had asked me a few years ago what kind of YouTube videos I would make, I would have said gaming fairly quickly. So, why is the answer not as clear now? To answer that question, I'm going to give you a little story about the first love of my life, video games. When my parents first bought me a console, I'm sure they didn't understand the horrors they had just unleashed. I was hooked straight away. Whether it was Simpsons Hit and Run on the PS2 or Pokemon Emerald on the Game Boy, I sank hours of my life into these games. Fast forward a couple of years to when I first got an Xbox and I was clearly addicted to gaming, or if I wasn't, I soon would be. It was when I first got Call of Duty Black Ops on Xbox Live that my relationship with gaming had gotten a little more intense. Gone were the days of playing for fun, now I was playing to win. I don't know why I was more inclined to be competitive with gaming rather than with traditional sports, but it probably has something to do with me being lazy and hating cardio. To get better at COD, I had to find teachers to learn from. It was there that I was introduced to the concept of a gaming channel. It was channels like Xjaws or Syndicate that I watched and learned from to improve at Call of Duty. Once I had gone better at the game, I wanted to do exactly what they were doing. Now, I never did start a proper YouTube channel centered around gaming, largely out of fear of being ridiculed from my mates, but that didn't mean that the thought had died. Once the high of Call of Duty wore off, another game came to sweep me off my feet, League of Legends. League of Legends, to put simply, is a game for degenerates. It tells the world that you can't speak to women, you don't take showers, and that you don't touch grass. And because of that, I sunk a lot of time into League. Maybe too much time. League had quickly become my most played game series within a few years. I even ended up reaching the rank of Diamond and playing League at university. Again, I toyed with the idea of starting a League channel, but yet again, I was a pussy. In recent years, however, I'd fallen out with gaming. I think I discovered the importance of actually going outside, but also, I lost that competitive drive. I started a game purely for the social aspect. It was those late nights on Warzone, where your friends all go silent as they wait to see if you clutch, or if you crumble miserably under the pressure. Or getting a 5-man team together on League, just so I can mess around and annoy my mates. These are the reasons I gamed as I got older. Not because of the game itself, but because it was a way to socialise. This was especially true during lockdown. Now that we've left lockdown, and I've left uni, many of my friends simply don't have the time to game, and as such I see no reason to game myself. This is why I'm just not as dedicated to making gaming content as I once was. The flame has just died out. Recently, I did rekindle that flame with single player games, and I'm relearning to enjoy the game for the game itself. Perhaps while making YouTube content, I will further reignite this passion. I still need to find that game, the game that makes me fall back in love with gaming. If I find it, then we will have a direction for this channel. As of right now, however, gaming is fighting for supremacy against other aspects of my identity, and one of those aspects is fitness. The day you join the gym is the day you are forever small. When I first joined the gym, I was a twig of a man. 6 years later, I'm still a twig, but less so. While I'm no Chris Bumstead or Noel Dazel, I have seen improvements. I think that's what I like about the gym. It's easy to see how much better you've become, and you've got the numbers to show for it. I couldn't bench the bar in the beginning, but now I can bench my body weight. I honestly think that joining the gym was one of the best decisions I've made on this planet. And believe me, there's not many good ones. You might think that picking up heavy things and placing them back on the floor can't be fun. You're wrong. After a gym sesh, my day's complete. I can do nothing else for the entire day and go to bed with a smile on my face, knowing I didn't waste the day. This simple 1 hour a day activity is addicting and has you constantly chasing the pump. I'll let Arnold explain why.
I'm getting the feeling of coming in the gym, I'm getting the feeling of coming at home, I'm getting the feeling of coming backstage when I pump up, when I pose out in front of 5,000 people, I get the same feeling, so I'm coming day and night. And it's terrific, right?
The gym builds the confidence that you have with your body, while at the same time it builds your body dysmorphia. Truly incredible. I think that's why I'm interested in posting fitness content. The market has become so oversaturated with enhanced physiques that it becomes difficult not to compare yourself. I think that by posting what a natural with bad genetics can achieve, I can hope to alleviate some of that. But mainly, I'll just post so I've got something to hold me accountable to my diet. The third main type of YouTube video I'm interested in making is educational. I was thinking I could use my degree to help those who are studying maths and economics, but I realised that I didn't want to teach what I knew to strangers, instead I wanted to teach what I didn't know. I'll explain what I mean. I used to love learning. I'd constantly read fact books and Google strange questions. I was actually excited to attend certain classes at school. I used to enjoy maths and economics the most, but physics was also pretty fun. I felt like these subjects presented the most interesting questions you could ask, and that's what kept them fresh. Then came exams. I hated exams, as do most people, but it's not the pressure exams I hate. It's the monotonous repetition, memorizing stuff that you already know how to answer, and doing the same questions over and over again. Eventually I stopped learning to learn, and instead learned how to pass exams. And while I did get pretty good at passing exams, the consequence was that it killed my love of learning. So now I was passing exams, but not feeling like I was learning anything. I felt like I was just optimizing for exams. I stopped asking questions and stopped caring about the topics we were learning. This is most evident with my time at uni, where I didn't attend anything, despite having had a love for maths and economics before. I just couldn't motivate myself to learn. I just learnt what I needed for exams, passed the exam, and then moved on. Thanks to online exams during COVID, this was even easier. I got a first at uni, but I couldn't tell you what I'd learned. But something I do enjoy doing is explaining. My friends probably hate me for this, but I can't help but explain things. I think I enjoy helping someone understand something they struggled with, be it when I coached badminton or when I would explain maths to people at uni. The reaction people would have when it finally clicked with them would make me feel like I've done some good in the world. Or maybe I just enjoy flexing on people. Recently, my spark for learning has been reignited. I think all the uncertainty in the world has created some really intriguing scenarios to dive into, and I'm interested in exploring these questions on this channel. The questions would probably focus more on maths, economics and finance, as those are the regions I have greater expertise in, but also because that stuff is what I used to find the most interesting to learn. There are a few smaller categories of content that I'm interested in producing and may dabble in later down the line. The first pertains to film and TV reviews. I think I'm a pretty good film critic, and my friends would struggle to argue against any recommendations I've made. Inglourious Basterds by Quentin Tarantino was the film that got me enchanted by the art of filmmaking. There were others before that, like Inception and The Shawshank Redemption, but Inglourious was the film that pushed me down the rabbit hole. It had me analysing and perceiving films with a whole new perspective, and I took that perspective with me when it came to consuming other forms of cinema. I think that I would enjoy showcasing that perspective to others, and at the same time giving them a recommendation so they know what to watch when they next open up Netflix. The second smaller category is fragrances. Fragrances have become a recent love of mine in the last few years. It started with just wanting to impress girls, but instead became a rather expensive hobby. While I do have quite the collection I could review, the issue is getting new fragrances. I lack funds, and my bank account would simply cry if I continued to feed my addiction. I could buy samples to try and review, but I don't want my wish list to get any longer. Perhaps when I start my grad job and I have a little more spending power, I may showcase my thoughts and give recommendations, but for now, I don't see myself being primarily a fragrance channel. I also don't want to end up like Jeremy Fragrance.
Cardamom. Oh!
So there we have it, all the different types of videos I'm interested in making. And because I'm a strong, decisive alpha male who knows exactly what he wants when he wants it, I'll have no issues when it comes to deciding what kind of content I want to make. But For the sake of entertainment, I'm going to pretend that I'm not the most decisive person in the world, and instead I'll be experimenting with different types of videos and we'll see what I enjoy the most. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.
Got movement. Blotted. Go easy. I've got you. You're a strong bastard, you'll make it.
You've got gas moving in.
We should head for the safe zone.
Team into top 5. Let's be the last. That's right. If you go down now, the operation's over. Watch your step. Relocating the safe zone. Gas is moving. Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.